As you know, the fitness space is very saturated. As a result, everybody wants to be an influencer and a coach. And you see a lot of scamming going on. You don't know what to believe anymore. Let's react to this video. I will pause every now and then, offer up my perspective on things as a coach myself, and we'll take it from there.
He's got an ass for this, what I've done.
Which I eat salads all day. I'm starving myself to maintain abs. In reality, I actually eat like a bit.
Pizza or salad? Which one?
I mean, the first one there, you don't have to eat salads all day to get a great physique. You don't have to eat salads all day to lose fat. Once you learn calories in, calories out, eating within a calorie deficit but not too low, you will lose fat. The first one there, I don't think that's a scam. But this one, let's see what he says.
Athletic Green. Athletic Greens AG1. After a long day using our bodies, we must replenish and reload.
Oh boy, here comes the capper. Here comes the capper.
Not the cap.
Here comes the capper.
The same way our ancestors did. This meal is a gift.
As the fitness industry grows, so does the potential for new scammers. From videos promising six-pack shortcuts, to diet gurus faking their entire lifestyle, schemes and miracle products have been pushed since the beginning. While there still are a lot of good influencers and products out there, sometimes the scams can be pretty hard to recognize. And because of this, scams grow pretty big and end up hurting a lot of people before getting busted. Starting with Brian Johnson, aka Liver King. In under a year, Liver King gained over 5.5 million followers.
That's the first why can't I speak? That's the first red flag off the bat. If somebody comes out of nowhere, you don't know about them, huge, blows up out of nowhere. That's a big red flag. I'm all for people blowing up and getting recognition, especially if they deserve it. But that's the thing, if they deserve it. If it's through preaching something off the rails to get a result like this, red flag. I hope you guys know that.
And seemingly took over the internet with his bizarre videos, where he ate pretty much any part of an animal you can think of. Liver King not only ate these strange foods, but also claimed they were responsible for his impressive physique.
Yeah,
alongside
right.
The
yeah.
ancestral.
Okay. Alright. Okay.
Not the cap.
Tenets lifestyle he promoted.
So the 9 ancestral tenets are these forces that have nourished us and shaped us to epigenetically express our highest and most dominant form. It's enabled us to become the baddest mammalian predators that ever lived.
However, while a big part of Liver King's message was technically right, fans began to get suspicious of the truth behind his physique. Whenever Liver King was accused of using steroids, he shot the rumors down and pointing back at his ancestral tenets.
I guarantee you nobody has done what I've done. Nobody lives the way that I live. I think at the end of the day, if you say he's got an ass full of steroids, invariably some people want to look like Liver King. They want to look like me. Will you ever... Stop the cap! You know, if you want to look like me, you've already lost.
As Liver King's fame grew, so did the claims that his lifestyle was fake and that steroids were involved.
The Liver King thing drives me nuts, because that guy's on steroids. Well, just shut the fuck up. Joe Rogan thinks so. How did that feel? Oh, Cloud 9. Really? I've entered his ecosystem. Joe Rogan is talking about Liver King. You know how obscure I was to most of his audience before he's talking about me. And so I love it.
But there was no solid proof. And that's when Liver King doubled down by starting to sell supplement versions of the odd stuff he was eating. This profit-driven move...
I'll tell you this right now. When it comes to supplements, there's only really 2 supplements you need. Protein, any kind. You have your casein protein, which is good to have at nighttime because it's slow digesting. You have your protein isolate. You have your regular protein. I don't recommend anything else. I've been doing this for 15 plus years, and I'm confident in my statement. Creatine and protein work perfectly. Protein only if you're using it as a supplement. You're not having protein over eating the chicken breast, for example. Anyways, let's get back.
Move raised red flags, prompting some viewers to dig deeper. But still, as the accusations grew, Liver King's marketing continued to show a primal lifestyle was the reason for his physique. While the stuff he's eating isn't necessarily bad, the real issue is that many fans believe that's why he was shredded and went on to...
And you need to use your discernment too when it comes to listening to people online and adopting what they're saying. There's so much individuals online that are good at giving you the correct answer but contradicting themselves in a way. You have to have discernment to be able to see that.
...to spend millions of dollars on his supplements. Sales were booming, and Liver King looked unstoppable. But then came the infamous emails. Not just any emails, private messages from Brian Johnson himself, sent to a coach named Vigorous Steve. They weren't about liver. They weren't about sun exposure or ice bath.
Let me guess, it was about steroids. Quote me on that.
They were about steroids.
Wow.
Thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Vigorous Steve had kept quiet until he heard Brian preaching the all-natural lifestyle to millions.
Same question, same answer. I didn't touch the stuff, don't touch the stuff, right? Number one, I don't do it. The question has always been, do you take steroids? Do you take PEDs? The answer to that is no. And if you do have ancestral tenets and you live that way, you're going to be able to produce your highest and most dominant form.
That's when he stepped in. He sent the emails to Derek from More Plates, More Dates. And Derek, he had already been suspicious of the Liver King for a while. This was exactly what he'd been waiting for.
Leaked emails, blood test results, and a full steroid cycle breakdown. That's what we're going to be getting into in this video, and it is shocking to say the least.
The first email was damning. Proof that the Liver King wasn't just using steroid.
Jeez, look at all this stuff. Goodness gracious. How emotionally damaged are you to use all this?
Emotional damage!
That's crazy. How much money do you think all this stuff is? I would rather take that money and use it for groceries. I don't know about you, but groceries is getting more and more expensive. How can people have the money to buy all this stuff? How?
He was on a full-blown cycle with 7 different drugs, costing over $11,000 a month. Once Derek saw that,
11 grand for all that.
went digging. He checked his own inbox, and there it was. An old email from Brian himself, buried in the noise. In it, Liver King admitted he wanted to use steroids to take things to the next level, but also made it clear he wanted everything to stay confidential.
The other day I was filtering through my emails to find the forwarded emails, the blood test results, do my interpretation of it. Apparently sitting in the depths of my email inbox was an unread message from the man himself requesting bodybuilding coaching as well. May 2nd, 2021.
That's
from
crazy,
Brian
man.
Johnson. I need to get shredded, have more energy, and get my brain working better, but I overtrained. I played around with peptides and would like to explore real gigs like Omnitrope and others. I need the next level, which is why I'm reaching out. Can you reassure me that all information discussed, which confidential, presumably will be held confidential?
But it didn't stop there. A third email turned up, this time from...
Yeah, this is crazy. I can see how so many people are jealous of naturals that look great, of naturals that didn't need to take anything. You know, I get it. I get accused all the time, and I'm truly proud of not having to do all this. Quite honestly, if you have average to a little bit above average genetics, that's all I need. That's all I need. It's truly sad people have to do all of this. Truly sad. Truly sad. 11 grand a month for all that stuff he's taking. Why? I can think of so many things to do with 11 grand per month to double or triple my income.
Brian's own team, asking Derek directly for feedback on the drugs and dosages he was taking.
This isn't it. There was another email from somebody on his team this time. This guy presumably is a high up guy in the company. He has an Ancestral Supplements extension email. I work with Brian Johnson, owner of Ancestral Supplements. We recently secured him an HGH prescription, and he's taking quadruple the dose with little benefit. It's Omnitrope, somatropin. Brian has some questions and ideas about why he may not be responding to the HGH.
That was it. The full picture was clear. Derek laid it all out on his channel in a methodical, calm takedown. It went instantly viral, and then came the classic YouTube apology video.
I'm making this video to apologize because I lied and I misled a lot of people.
In his apology video, he claimed the entire Liver King persona was a social experiment. A stunt, he said, designed to raise awareness for suicide and mental health. But instead of sympathy, it sparked outrage. Because if this was all part of some twisted awareness campaign, then it meant that millions of young men struggling with insecurity and body image had been manipulated in the process. While preaching ancestral living and earning it, Brian had been quietly spending over $10,000 a month on performance-enhancing drugs, all while holding himself up as proof of what raw meat, discipline, and sunlight can do. Commentators across the board called it what it was: damage control. A last-ditch effort to salvage the brand. But the damage had been done. Millions had looked to Liver King as proof that hard work alone could get you there. Now,
You know, I blame it on the people interacting with the post as well. I saw a post earlier today about the guy basically saying he hates social media because the only thing people pay attention to is negativity. On Instagram, as far as the news, if you talk about anything positive, nobody views the video. Nobody engages with the video. You have to rage bait. You have to use negative words within the video to garner attention. You know, I blame you guys. You know, blame you guys. You guys blew up this guy. 5 million subscribers or views or followers, whatever it was.
for many, it just felt like one more betrayal. Before the fame, Liver King was already successful, claiming to earn $5.2 million a year by age 25. His primal journey began after his son was diagnosed with pandas, a serious illness that triggered severe mental health issues. Desperate for a solution, Brian reached out to Paul Saladino, a leading voice in the carnivore diet. Paul's advice helped his son recover significantly, and Brian became a true believer. That's when things escalated. He leaned hard into the ancestral lifestyle, launching a full-scale marketing campaign built around his primal persona, starting with raw liver. But even Paul, his primal mentor, who ironically later ditched the carnivore diet due to his own health issues, released a video expressing disappointment in Brian.
He's a good human at his core, and I'm incredibly disappointed by the steroid revelations.
Despite
Bro, are you serious right now, bro?
earning over $100 million in supplement sales, Liver King's reputation crumbled. He faced lawsuits totaling over $25 million for misleading claims. Though he eventually beat the lawsuits, his name is now grouped with fitness industry villains like V-Shred. V-Shred is one of the most disliked names in the fitness industry, known for pushing unrealistic...
Really? This is why it's good not to be too involved, right? All of you have goals and aspirations you want to reach. Don't be too starstruck. Go on the internet, get the information you need, and the biggest thing is to apply it. To apply it in a way that's sustainable. I don't know some of these guys, and I'm in the fitness space. I saw his face before, but that's it.
You don't know what's crazy and what's sad about the fitness industry?
The fact that you still exist?
You should never listen to V-Shred.
Anybody who respects in the fitness industry respects V-Shred.
Nobody.
If one day I'm going to be on my deathbed, I don't want my overwhelming big regret that I watched a 50-minute V-Shred video. Despite non-stop backlash from
Nobody cares.
We do not care.
creators, the brand has pulled in an estimated $300 million to $1 billion, with over 3 million paying members. So how did a guy with no real credentials or background in fitness manage to scam millions? And more importantly, why is V-Shred still going to this day, even after being exposed time and time again? In 2015, V-Shred posted his first public video titled, Get Shredded Fast, which was pretty much the average fitness tutorial video. But what started as just another harmless YouTube fitness channel quickly raised eyebrows. Viewers began noticing that Vince, the face of V-Shred, was copying content almost word for word from creators like Athlean X.
He just copies everything word for fucking word most of the time from what Athlean X does. He takes a video of Athlean X's from the past, and then he decides that he is going to remake it.
But the issue wasn't just plagiarism. It was that Vince clearly didn't understand what he was copying. He was just repeating words without knowing the science behind it.
This is because this is just basically where the chest muscle originates and inserts. It originates the same point up here.
The information was all over the place. Some of it flat out wrong.
Really focusing on squeezing down on your pec right here. Holding that flex, holding that flex, holding that flex.
As backlash grew, V-Shred pivoted to original content, but things only got worse. This time, the advice wasn't stolen, it was just
Don't lie to people. Don't lie to people. It'll come back to haunt you. Seriously. I don't claim to be an expert, but what I do know is the hundreds of people I've helped lose between 10 to 30 pounds can tell you that I helped them do it. I'm not going to come here and talk about flexion, extension, all the muscle groups, the inserts, how it functions to appear smarter than I am. What I do know is you need to set a goal that is realistic in a realistic time frame, and you need to have something you're doing that's sustainable to be able to hit that goal. And once you hit that goal, you need to set a new one. Basic. You know, I wish more people had better intuition. You just believe anybody. And the people you should believe, you accuse. Discernment is lost these days.
While most of the content isn't inherently harmful, aside from spreading misinformation, what makes the V-Shred case worse is that they're also selling programs at outrageous prices. but no one would actually believe they're making
Custom training and diet plan. It doesn't 8 weeks. I wouldn't really say that's outrageous. As a personal trainer that worked in the gym and online, to get a 1 hour session at a gym, you're paying like $50 per hour, right? Think about how long it takes for you to remove old habits, build new habits, and then see results. That's one aspect. You're paying for one session $50. How many sessions do you need to go to start seeing results? Let's just say you need to go every day of the week. $50 times 5, $250. About $1,000 a month. Okay? That's just for training. The main thing we all know is nutrition. Anything outside that hour at the gym, the next 23 hours of your day, that's the main thing. So you're basically paying $1,000 a month at the gym just for somebody to talk to you and count your reps. Think about that. I'm not trying to defend them, but that price for what that can do, it makes sense. It makes sense. Think about it from that perspective. If you're paying one session $50, how many sessions do you think you will be paying for until you see results? Like, we need to. So I wouldn't call that outrageous. I wouldn't. 8 weeks. Now, the only thing I'll say is there some form of check-ins? Is there abilities to change the training within that 8 weeks, or how will it work? That's my only questions about that. But I don't see anything outrageous about that. Personally, I wouldn't put my prices out there like that. I'll speak to the person first, see what they want, see where they're at, and see if I can help them. That would be my approach.
they're making sales, right? Unfortunately, despite all the red flags, V-Shred continues to grow to this day. With a company of over 300 employees, it's clear the scheme goes much deeper than just Vince. V-Shred was founded by a team of professional internet marketers, and Vince was chosen as the face of the company largely for his looks. Leveraging their marketing expertise, they leaned on shock value and emotional hooks, selling big promises that rarely match reality.
Harvard researchers have found what they're calling a biological loophole that takes just 30 seconds first thing in the morning that can help crank up even the slowest of metabolisms and help promote calorie burning all day long.
A huge chunk of the
Here's something to help your metabolism. Build muscle. Build muscle. The more muscle you have, the more you're burning at rest. The higher metabolic rate is, you're burning calories at rest when you have more muscle. There. Problem solved. I don't know what he's talking about here, but this is the fancy stuff people want to hear. People don't want to hear you need to build muscle, you need to lift weights to have a better metabolism. People don't want to hear that. People want to hear, oh, I was born with bad genetics, my metabolism sucks, therefore I cannot lose body fat. If you have that defeated mindset, this is why you'll never progress. You need to accept the truth and know that you need to do something. You need to take actions. There is no shortcuts when it comes to this. None.
V-Shred's budget doesn't go into making their programs better, it goes into marketing. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with marketing, how they do it is where things get sketchy. Their ads are laser focused on beginners, people who are new to fitness and easy to overwhelm. And what are they selling? Wild promises, unrealistic results, and products based on pseudoscience that sound just sciencey enough to seem legit.
The other day when I was walking into Starbucks, some guy came up and goes, "How do you have such a good body?" And instead of sitting there for 30 minutes and talking to him about the 3 body types, I sent him to my 3 body type quiz that tells you the 3 most important things to do to get in shape for whatever your body type is.
And while there are many positive but seemingly
So it makes sense though. Like, you need to know your body type because each body type eats differently and trains differently for maximum results based on that body type. So that makes sense. This is what they do. They're good at giving you correct information, enough science to make it sound more legit so that you buy into it. You need to use your intuition to see when things are, okay, this may be fake.
fake reviews
Even if somebody gives you the right information.
posted by V-Shred, real testimonials from people who signed up came back very negative. But honestly, the workout programs aren't even the worst part. V-Shred also runs a sketchy supplement brand called Consultation, and it's a whole other level of shady. We're talking about the usual cash grab lineup. Fat burners that don't work, testosterone boosters with zero...
Testosterone boosters are a scam, fat burners are a scam. Like I said at some point during this video, creatine and protein are the only supplements you need. Everything else is a scam. Everything else. When I use BCAAs, branched amino acids, is for flavor. It's to have something in my water so I drink more water. That's it. But other than that, protein and creatine are the only supplements you need. Period. And protein, to some degree, you don't want to overdo it with it because you want to eat your protein instead of drink it.
Neuroscience behind them, and a bunch of overpriced supplements that promise the world but deliver nothing. Even their basic products like protein or creatine are often underdone.
See? He's calling them basic, but basics is key. When it comes to fitness, basics is key because basics is easy to adapt and do and sustain. The key thing, sustain. Starting and stopping is what is stopping people from progressing. You need to establish a routine, have it to the point where you're doing it consistently in a sustainable manner. I'll keep saying that.
Goes to the point of being useless.
He has some arginine, glutamine, lysine, in totality at a dosage of like, what, 800 milligrams or something? Like, what the fuck is the point, dude? Other than making a more longer label and making it look more comprehensive with a bunch of fancy words, when in reality, none of these do fucking anything at these dosages.
Despite all the backlash, Shred just keeps growing. And now, they've even jumped into the overpriced fitness clothing game, which, to be fair, might actually be the most honest thing they've done so far. But here's the twist. Vince and V-Shred didn't invent the whole shady fitness guru formula. They're really just copycats, following in the footsteps of an earlier self-proclaimed expert who once claimed that a revolutionary Chinese secret could give you six-pack abs practically overnight.
Overnight, yeah.
Chang, founder of Six-Pack Shortcuts, is often considered one of the original fitness YouTubers.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mike with Six-Pack Shortcuts. I got a killer routine today for you, and we're going to be doing all ab exercises.
He started out surprisingly well-liked. His videos were straightforward. His advice was simple. And he seemed genuinely interested in helping people. What set Mike apart early on was the branding, Shortcuts. He wasn't just another coach talking about hard work and consistency. He promised faster results. And in the world of fitness, that message spreads fast. Within just a few years, Six-Pack Shortcuts had exploded, racking up millions.
There you go. Remember my red flag? If somebody just blows up out of nowhere, you should see that as a red flag. That is it right there.
Millions of subscribers, and creating a template that future fitness gurus would follow. And then, the tone changed. What began as free, no-nonsense advice slowly morphed into a high-pressure marketing machine. The shift was subtle at first. More sales funnels, more paid programs, and then more claims.
In fact, I'm burning calories while I'm watching TV, I'm laying around just being lazy on the couch, sleeping.
He's burning calories because he has muscle mass. Remember what I said at some point during this video? You need to lift weight, you need to build muscle so that your metabolic rate is higher. So when you watch these videos, you need to put two and two together and try to figure out what they're saying outside of the noise, right? It's great marketing.
Talking to you guys, you know? So, I just posted a free video showing you how it works, so go check it out by clicking the button below right now.
One of the most infamous claims was that Mike's method was based on a revolutionary discovery made by scientists in China. A shortcut to abs that supposedly bypassed the need for
marketing.
Then there was this gem. If you don't follow this method, you could get erectile dysfunction.
Okay. What?
Stop the cap!
You gotta be kidding me.
Or even die. Claims like these eventually triggered enough backlash that YouTube banned Six-Pack Shortcuts. But only temporarily. The account was later reinstated, but the damage had been done. At the same time, steroid allegations began swirling around Mike. He responded with what looked like an apology video, but the link, it didn't go to an explanation. It redirected viewers to, yeah, you guessed it, an ad for his pre-workout supplement. By now,
that's crazy.
The fitness industry had started turning on Mike. He became a running joke. His name, shorthand for shady marketing, sketchy supplements, and overhyped results. But despite the criticism, Six-Pack Shortcuts kept growing. At one point, they were reportedly pulling in $13 million per year from coaching programs alone. And while Mike was technically promoting fitness, he was also setting dangerously false expectations.
Yeah.
Even their supplements raised red flags. They used the classic proprietary blend loophole, which means
marketing words, man. Oh, goodness. You need to have discernment in 2026. You do. You need it. Not just in the fitness space, for everything.
Ingredient amounts weren't disclosed. It's a common trick in the industry, often used to pack products with filler while protecting secret formulas. Officially, they claimed this was to prevent copycats, but given the other aggressive tactics, it only made things look more suspicious. Then, without much warning, Mike walked away. He sold his shares in six-pack shortcuts for millions, started a new channel, and rebranded himself as a more peaceful, wellness-focused figure. His reason?
And he grew to 350K subscribers. Man, why does the media reward people that cheat, reward people that lie, that deceive? Why? I don't understand it, man. I don't want to make this about me, but you do so much, you work hard, you do things honestly, you live by a code of conduct, and you're seeing everybody around you just flourishing. Why cheating, lying, and deceiving? Why? Honestly, it's discouraging. It really is. It's discouraging.
Reason? According to Mike, it was a realization he had while on psychedelics, that he'd been taking advantage of the industry and needed to change. After Mike's departure, the brand tried to recover by rebranding as sixpackabs.com. But without their face of the franchise, the relaunch flopped. The channel never reached its former popularity. Mike did manage to distance himself slightly by publicly regretting the marketing tactics, but his name will always be tied to the legacy of six-pack shortcuts. And one thing seems consistent across these fitness guru empires. No matter who's running them, they always circle back to selling overpriced, often useless supplements to boost profits. It's a pattern we've seen with V-Shred, six-pack shortcuts, and even wellness brands like AG1. If you've spent more than 5 minutes online, you've probably been pitched AG1 by someone you follow. They're aggressive, all-platform marketing.
I don't even know about EG. I really do mean what I say about the all supplements you need, creatine and protein. I stand by it. I don't see any of these supplements ever. If I didn't click this video, I wouldn't have known about it.
Marketing strategy is a big reason why the company is now valued at over $1 billion. But behind the polished branding and influencer testimonials, there are some serious red flags. First, the price. Even a single bag of AG1 runs close to $100. And while the biggest creators online are paid handsomely to say they love AG1, unpaid honest reviews start to tell a very different story.
I know I can make this product for less than $10. That's the cost of the actual ingredients. They sell it for $99 for a single purchase. That's a lot of margin to play with, from 10 as a cost to 70 at your doorstep.
Crazy.
The point is, AG1 is not what it's hyped to be.
One of AG1's main selling points is its 75 ingredient formula, promoted as an all-in-one solution for gut health, immunity, energy recovery, and more. On paper, that sounds impressive. But to many consumers, it raised a question. Can 75 ingredients actually do anything in a single scoop? AG1 tries to justify it by saying the product is designed to support every system in the body. And in theory, that makes sense. But here's the problem. They don't list most of the ingredient amounts. That's the same proprietary lid.
They're only trying to get the money from you.
Loophole we've seen before. And it lets companies list impressive ingredients without revealing whether there's enough of anything to make a difference. Without transparency, AG1 can legally claim all the benefits associated with those ingredients without actually including clinically effective doses. They also rely heavily on buzzwords and vague wellness claims. Boosts energy, supports gut health, fills nutritional gaps.
Anyway, I'll stop there. I hope this video is informative to you. I hope you take everything you see on social media as a grain of salt and use your discernment to know who to believe, know who to take advice from, and not only take the advice but apply the advice as well. It's discouraging. There are so many scammers out there, not just in the fitness space, but overall. I just want you to take this before the video ends. When it comes to fitness, you cannot get away with shortcuts. It takes time. Anything great takes time, takes attention to detail. But once you get past the beginning stages and get to the point you have an established routine that is sustainable, the results will come, but it will not come overnight. I need you to ingrain that in your head. If it comes quickly, it goes quickly as well. So do it the right way the first time. Anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, stay tuned for more videos. May God bless you, and I'll see you next video.
Metro Boomin, want some more, nigga.